Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Satellite House. I'm Evan,
I'm Matias.
and today I'm going to tell you about how I got this awful fucking injury on my face. So, interesting story behind that, because it actually started with episode 1 of Satellite House,
What
in a
happened?
way. So, if I hadn't been coming here to film what was supposed to be episode 2, I never would have got this injury. Because you see, I was on my way here to the Satellite House Studios. You know, this gigantic megacorp tower that we have, and you know, up here on the 51st floor of Satellite House Industries Inc. Building that you can totally see from all over San Jose. You can see it. So I was on my way here, and I was riding my electric scooter, and I was wearing a different hat, like a hat that I don't normally wear.
Uh huh.
And so my hat flew off because it has such a wide brim that it like caught the wind, and it went whoosh. And then I fucking panicked because I was like, oh shit, my hat. And then I fucking lost balance and like totally fell right in the street.
Gosh, that's brutal.
And this guy in a Nissan Altima just drove past me, didn't even look, didn't even give a flying fuck. Uh,
The guy was just like, "Yeah, fuck this guy." Like, well, That's like if I saw that like go down, I'm like, dang, like that guy's he's literally like going through that, like going through it. And you said that was like right before on your way to like this episode, like to
Ye-
record this episode.
yeah, it actually was on the way to record what was supposed to be episode 2. Obviously, now we are recording episode 2, just like a day later than expected. Um, and so, you know, it came out fine. I was in the hospital for like 8 hours in the emergency room at a Bay Area hospital, which is
Dang.
supposed to be a level 1 trauma center, right? They're supposed to be the most well-equipped hospital in like Santa Clara Valley. Um, and they were doing such a terrible job.
8 hours is a long time. Like dang, there's like there's like you need to have like a charger on you. Like you don't even have enough like battery to last you that long in the waiting room.
You know, I fully did not have enough battery to last me during the time that I was in the waiting room.
What'd you end up doing?
I got home with like 1% left on my phone.
Oh gosh.
And it was such a fucking close call because it was really late. It was 2:30 in the morning when I came home, and no Uber, or sorry, no, I had to get an Uber because none of the brothers were sober or awake to come and get me. So I had to get an Uber, and it was
Gosh.
the first driver canceled on me, and it took longer for them to get there. It was terrifying because I was like, oh god, it's 1%, I'm gonna die.
Like if they don't go to the right like pickup location, like like you won't be able to like contact them, or they wouldn't be able to contact you, I guess. Dang, yeah, you really wow. That was cutting close. That's cutting real close, and wow, thank goodness, like you were able to kind of like stick out the battery there, and stick out like pain wise as well, just kind of sticking through, like just not knowing like exactly what exactly like is like has already happened, like what's already happened with the how things look now and how things are. Um,
Yeah, it was a really awful wait. There were a lot of people who were fucking rude. The hospital staff, they were really mean about like when I was gonna get seen. You know, like they were the kind of staff where like you go and you go, am I gonna get seen soon? And you, mind you, it's not like you're asking within the first like 20 minutes or something like that. It's like 4 hours or 5 hours into the wait. I'm like, am I gonna get seen soon? and like they fully will just snap at you and be like, "No, we don't have an estimate for the time at all. Nothing."
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that that and that was like barely, like not even like that late at night, like when you had asked them that, right?
So, I I got there at like 5:30 roughly, and they had me sitting outside for an hour because they have these like triage tents that are outside.
Uh-huh.
And then finally I got triaged and they sent me inside, and then like I sit in there for like 3 or 4 hours, and then finally I asked, I was like, "Am I going to get seen soon?" And they were like, "No." And they just fully sent me back to my seat with like no help in any way whatsoever. And they didn't even do much the entire time that I was there. I was there for 8 hours, and the only things that they did were the X-rays to make sure I didn't break anything, and give me a tetanus shot and some Tylenol. Like they didn't patch me up, they didn't clean me up, they didn't give me any antibiotics, they didn't like nothing, right? Could I fully have an infection right now? Yep. Do they care? Nope. They didn't do jack shit for me. I'm just really surprised, because this is supposed to be, a super capable hospital that has all these resources.
This was like a place that you personally trusted.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say that I considered this hospital to be one that I would imagine has a good reputation and the capability to do a lot, especially because we're in the Bay Area, and this is like the richest place in America. And I thought, okay, well, all those tech nerds at Apple, they're not going to settle for poor healthcare. But I guess they do if that's the hospital they're going to.
That's unfortunate.
Yo, guys, maybe we should introduce who our new friend here is. Devin.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and introduce one of my good friends and fraternity brothers, Matias. Um, I would say he is one of the brothers that I'm closer with.
What's up, guys? I kind of already introduced myself. Thanks for the introduction there. Like I already said hi at the very beginning of the podcast. Never really had any introduction, so it's really happy to be here. It's a pleasure to be on the podcast. You guys may see my face every now and then, may hear my voice every now and then, and feel very welcome. So yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to have you on the podcast. It's great to have you around. And well, why don't we start with how you first got here into the podcast, because you weren't originally gonna be on screen, right?
Yeah, I wasn't. I actually didn't know until maybe like a half hour ago that I'd be or 20 minutes ago that I'd actually be sitting in front of the camera. I thought I was gonna be sitting down where Jason is currently sitting down, and he's and like I was gonna be helping out just kind of with working the behind the scenes, and I guess we just hit it off right, and I guess he ended up liking sitting over there than over here.
I think Jason really enjoys the production aspect of videography. Would you say that that's true, Jason?
Oh yeah, 100%. I love being in the back and controlling everything.
And I feel like me and Matthias have a really great chemistry of talking to one another. We're two people who are very similar in a lot of ways.
Most
Uh,
definitely. I always enjoy hearing what you got to say, Evan. And soon enough we'll be getting. I'm like donating a camera to the podcast, so these guys can get another view of things from a different angle, with at least getting Jason in. Like I'm looking at Jason currently. You guys can't see him, but I'm currently looking at him, and like we'll get a camera set up so you can be seen again. But he's there with his horchata.
Yeah, we definitely got to get that third camera set up because who wouldn't want to look at Jason? I mean, God, what a handsome guy.
Thank you, Evan.
That Golden State Warriors cap. Nice.
Not for this episode, though, guys.
But yeah, no, I mean, I obviously like it came to be that I just came to, you know, I just offered my expertise and like some back behind the scenes help, and I offered my assistance with that, and they took on the offer, and now I'm here, and I guess we'll just kind of see where it goes.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we went somewhere physically recently, didn't we? We went to San Luis Obispo.
Oh, San Luis Obispo is amazing. What a trip. There's so many things about that I really enjoyed.
I think one thing that I really enjoyed about Slow was the food. There was so much good food out there.
Oh, it was amazing. And like, yeah, I can't even believe we only get to try a couple different spots. Like,
yeah, it's so impressive how places like Hofbrau and High Street Deli.
oh, High Street Deli is amazing.
High Street is so fucking good. Like, hot damn. Shout out to High Street Deli. We are not sponsored by them, but I absolutely want to give them a shout out because that was a good sandwich.
High Street, if you see this, please like send money our way, and we would love to get sponsored by you.
Or just send us some merch. That would be cool.
Send us this couple sandwiches too.
Yeah. Open a location in San Jose.
We will buy there every day.
Yeah, we will.
Anyways, yeah, no, that trip was amazing. I guess we can like kind of walk a little bit through. I mean, it was a pretty like long weekend.
It was a long weekend, but you know what? It was really cool too. The hike down to the beach and like everybody was like falling over.
Yeah, everyone
like I wasn't even the only one falling over. Everybody fell that weekend. That was crazy. And like
falling over a lot.
didn't Jesus and like somebody else get totally like splashed? It was like Josh and Jesus got fucking soaked, right, by the ocean.
Yeah, no, that tide like that wave just like came in like just whipped out of nowhere and just like just dived into the rocks next to them, and we were just like trying to like I literally was the first to realize that they're still standing far ahead on the rocks when I see this like something from the distance, like this thing coming in, and it's like, oh gosh, this is about to be big, and I was like, watch out, like the tide's getting higher, like I'm just like I'm like yelling out to these guys, and they're like, what? Wait, take a selfie though real quick, and these guys are taking a selfie for the gram, and then like then out of nowhere out of nowhere to them, I like literally saw this whole thing take place, and it was like literally went up like 10 feet, mind you, the typical waves you saw there were like 2 feet, so it was just like this thing that was like immensely higher, and it just like was so high that they're just like, oh shit, we gotta go. And I was like, let's get everyone out of here, let's get everyone to higher ground. And so that's when everyone was like, okay, we understand now, Matias, okay, we got it.
Yeah, they're very lucky that they didn't lose their phones to the sea. There's so much shit that gets lost in the sea. Like when I was in France, I went to Nice and I went to the beach there, and I lost my sunglasses in the Mediterranean Sea.
Damn.
And
did you like those sunglasses?
I did like those sunglasses, and I was so bitter because for the rest of my trip, I did not have sunglasses because I didn't want to buy new ones.
Dang, that's right. Oh, and you bought them there?
No, I had brought them from America. That's why I was like, I don't want to spend extra money on sunglasses, because I only had so many euros. You know, I had paper money because at the time I didn't have a credit card that had no international transaction fees. So if I went to a bank and got money, they would have charged me this big old fat fee to.
It's like a transferring fee.
Yeah, like a transaction fee for international stuff.
And like just to exchange, it costs like a good bit too.
Yeah, that too. I think but at the time, the dollar and the euro were roughly at parity with one another. So it was essentially $1 to €1. It really wasn't that big of a difference, but the problem was the transaction fees that I didn't want to deal with.
That's too bad that you end up losing those glasses there. Yeah, yeah, those guys are lucky that they didn't end up losing their phones. But like everyone was alright. It was a great time down there. It was like like the waves were like the weather felt like kind of good. Like it was kind of windy, kind of cool. But I had my like windbreaker on, so like kind of felt nice. Like that trip down was interesting. Like all of us were kind of like wobbling here and there because it's just so like fucking like steep. And yeah, it was cool while we were down there. We walked back, and just kind of like hung out and just were with each other for a good bit more. There was like a good like 13 of us.
Hmm.
It was like me, you, Jason, a few of the like a lot of the guys, like about half the chapter,
Yeah.
like went. And that was a great time. We got to stay the night, a few nights at one of the brothers' places, and yeah, I know we kind of experienced a little bit of different stuff. I know that like all of us, like you didn't go to the like go to the nightclubs.
Oh yeah, that really wasn't my bag. But like there was a lot of drama that happened at the nightclubs too. Like two guys got their IDs taken away. Like, geez, that was obviously a crazy night for everybody. Um, that was some drama.
The highs of highs and the lows of lows experienced by one of our friends that ended up having the greatest night going like ended
Oh
up getting a
man,
ride home.
oh man,
To,
I forgot that he well, he fucking gets his ID taken away, almost gets detained, and decides that he's gonna go take another risk and go spend the night with this girl that he met on Tinder. Like, that is wild. That is such risk taking behavior, which is something I would never do, but I think is really like interesting to do. You know?
yeah, he really risked it, like going for it, shooting a shot with I mean by the time that he got there, he was just so like done. He was just like, wow, I made it all this way here for this to happen. And yeah, he ended up he said he enjoyed the night. He said it went well. So I mean, I guess that's a good thing. He ended up making back to the house the day after. We were just like, wait, well, what's up, dude? You just kind of came out of nowhere. Like he just it was and he finally got to tell the story about his
Yeah.
night. Like poor guy has to go all the way back to Slow to go to that court date. Uh,
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's far.
yeah, but shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, that was a really fun time. We got to try what kind of what did you like about what did you like a lot about the trip?
I think something that I really enjoyed was getting to learn a lot more about the guys that I spend time with. You really got to, because we were with each other for like 72 straight hours. You really got to know what people are like, and who they are, and what their sort of thoughts and feelings and processes are.
Yeah, definitely.
And a lot of you guys are a lot different than when I'm only around you for like an hour. you know it's it's so much more real than the way that we present ourselves at like chapter meeting or whatever.
It's a very long prolonged like a very prolonged period of time, like where all of us uh, have spent more time with each other than we've ever have in a single sitting like that. Like all of us were doing everything, like we were always with each other all the way up until like we fell asleep.
Hmm.
And but that was cool that we got to do so many different things. I know like one of the mornings like we went to a view spot where we got to check out like this ocean spot near our friend's high school. I know some people weren't able to make it out, but some people like did, and there was like uh different like things with there was like off-roading stuff that like some people went on.
Yeah, we did the off-roading. That was so crazy. We went up to this location where like, so for reference, our friend has a 2-wheel drive SUV, right? You definitely needed 4-wheel drive where we were at. But he made it work anyway, somehow. And like, in order to get further up the hill, we all had to get out of the SUV because we were all too fucking fat and we were weighing that shit down. So then he starts up the car after we all get out, and he just fucking punches it, and that shit just goes rocketing up the hill. It was incredible.
Yeah, that was wild. We all had to run out, and then he just like kind of kept going, and yet we had to go like backwards to go down too because it was just so like narrow.
Yeah, the road was too
Like
fucking narrow, and the way that some people were like totally freaking out about it. They were like, "This is not." They were like, "I'm gonna die," and I was like, "You know what? If we die, this is a cool way to die."
There's a cool spot that me and Jason took a photo at. Actually, it was really cool. It was like near it was near a picnic table, but like it was on the edge where where we were. It was it was a good view spot for the lookout spot, like that you could see all the city nearby plus like the ocean. And so I guess like some people have put there was a picnic table out there, and me and Jason found it, and it's like a really cool spot to take a picture. So we took a picture out there. That was really cool. How was that, Jason? How was that for you?
I think that it was super windy, but the picture was worth it. It gave us a beautiful view of Morro Bay together. It was just amazing.
Yeah, you say it so nicely. Where like when we were over there, like you sounded miserable and that cold. You were fucking cold.
Yeah, I was complaining like
I think everybody was cold on that trip, though.
I was
Like,
cold
it
too.
was fucking freezing out there. I think none of us were truly prepared for how cold it was going to be in the
wasn't
central
prepared.
coast of California. I never realized that it's a much colder climate than I think it is. You know.
It's so it gets so windier. Like the closer we get to the bay, like next to the ocean, it gets so windy. I definitely wasn't prepared. I brought us like a walkable sleeping bag, but that was about it. So like that kept me going at least like for most of the period of time that we were there. But yeah, like all of us were like complaining about it was cold for all of us, and even the guy that like used to live there, he was like, yeah, this is pretty cold. Like this is. Like I always have to have a wetsuit on when I go surfing and all that. So, like that like glad we got to check it out, but you know it's we can only endure a lot of that before it just gets like too cold without like the proper gear when staying out there.
I don't know. I kind of think like Central California surf towns, right? I think that to me what that showed me is like, the California cliche of like everybody in California is this surfer person who's like, whoa man, hang 10, whoa, like, and they like they're these kind of like just like surf beach bums. Like that's the kind of cliche about California. And I feel like that's not really true with like most of California, but I feel like the Central Coast beach towns, maybe that's where that comes from,
Yeah. There is that stereotype of like the California like surfer like that like goes to Santa Cruz, UC Santa Cruz,
Yeah.
or like Hawaii or something or like that ends up like moving like from Hawaii, or like someone out here just like wants to go, they have the aspirations or dreams to like move somewhere where there's a lot of waves.
Yeah, well, like, the sort of person who like goes on vacation to Baja every summer, and like they own 5 surfboards, and like they have like messed up like dirty blonde hair, and they drive like a convertible Jeep or something like that. It's a very cliche, very like California pastiche.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like that's the sort of place where that really happens.
Yeah, that like that view on the Californians gets passed on everywhere. At least when we got to know, so like one of the, like we when we got to know like some of those guys at the other podcasts out there, they were super nice guys. Like they did not like fit the I mean, they were really nice, but like they just like weren't like the stereotypical like surfer guy. They were more outdoorsy. Like there's these like group of guys that like were the part of the chapter out there, and all of us went to go see them, and it was just so cool. It was just amazing. Like these guys, like all of them, like were hanging hammocks everywhere. That was a
Oh
good time.
yeah, that was really cool. That what was his name. Oh, I don't want to name drop him, but like that.
No.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, and he had like that sick ass camper truck and like.
Yeah, there's like three hammocks out there. There's
Yeah,
like
I
three of
know.
them. Then inside it was like a fucking like yeah, it was a good time. Like we were playing pool, some it was like it used to be a restaurant, so like there was like cool things that they did with like that like den area,
Yeah,
like inside like the old walk-in fridge and stuff. That was really cool.
yeah. They. Oh man, their house is so cool.
It's
Like
huge.
it is huge, but I think like it's also really unique, right? Because to me, this is my personal opinion. Any building that was not designed to be a house, which ends up becoming a house, is automatically more interesting. Like, say for example, like if you take an old school and you turn that shit into a house, like that's gonna be a really sick ass house because it's gonna be so fucking weird. You have like this massive cafeteria and shit. Like, it's just strange. Like any building that is not designed to be a house that ends up being a house is super cool. And their one was, I think it's probably like a bed and breakfast because they had all those like bedrooms.
It
You
reminded me of
know.
a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It
I
literally reminded
totally
me.
know what you mean. That like all the wood and like like oh
And
god.
it
Yeah,
looks
I know
exactly.
exactly what you mean. It's totally a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, it's like I guess there's people that came by to like I guess they went in the parking lot because like they have a parking lot there,
Mhm.
and they went to check it out, and they're like, hey, like we came to this restaurant, like is it this I think this is our restaurant. They're like, no, like this is not like Cracker Barrel or anything, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like you're kidding me, and apparently like there's this like I was like out there when this happened too, like there's this random like I guess a neighbor of theirs just like came walking down with the like they don't really have many neighbors, and so like this guy came out of nowhere. He was like, hey, what are you doing? Where do you go to school at? Just waving his cane at us, and he's like, and we're just kind of talking it up over there, and just got to the just got to know the interesting neighbors out there just while that was happening. Just interesting place that they got out there. Like it's really cool. Like how it was like just it's like a it really fits the vibe. I feel like that they really have a vibe going on over there. With they even have a dog.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Beans the dog.
Beans.
Yeah,
Beans is a good dog. I
very
like
good
Beans.
dog. I think something that the only thing that I could say that like would make their house cooler is if they had a pool. But I feel like pools automatically make any house cooler. Um, but like other than that, they have such a sick house. Like it's just so cool.
I mean, we never even got to check the back.
That's fair. Maybe they do have a pool.
I mean, like yeah, we only got to see as far as like because like we only were hanging out with them, but not even that long, so it's not like we really had much time.
Yeah, we didn't explore the whole property. It seemed like they had like a whole expansive property beyond
Yeah,
that, you know?
there was like another portion of their property that for sure like went further back. Like there was definitely that area that was just kind of out there. But they had a nice area like where we were just hanging out. They were nice. They gave us some like hot dogs. So did you get some hot dogs?
No, I did not. I didn't have anything to eat when I was there because I ordered food with a couple of the other guys. That got like some
Oh, you guys got some barbecue, right?
Yeah, we got barbecue, and that was
Oh,
pretty good.
That sounded nice. Oh, damn.
But me and Jason and another one of our brothers, we got barbecue on the way down to San Luis Obispo as well.
Oh, nice. Okay.
We stopped at this place in like, what was it, Santa Cruz or was it Monterey?
Santa Cruz, Cole's
Yeah.
Barbecue.
Yeah, Cole's Barbecue. That place, whew, that was some good food. Highly recommend.
Wait, was that the clam chowder place?
No, the clam chowder place was Hofbrau.
Oh, Hofbrau. I didn't end up going to that place.
Yeah, no, you didn't come with us.
That sounds really nice. So what'd you have? What'd you order?
So I got tri-tip, chicken, and pork ribs. Yeah,
That sounds fire.
it was really good. And I got the barbecue baked beans because I am a fucking slut for barbecue baked beans. I love them.
Let's go.
I feel like that's one of the best sides that you can get with any kind of like barbecue food. It's the baked beans. Because like, I'm sorry, coleslaw, disappointing.
What about
Fries, I can get it anywhere. Like,
What about the stuffed potato, the baked potato, or the double baked potato,
yeah,
or the mashed potato?
potatoes in any form are automatically great. Like,
Facts.
you can't go wrong with a potato unless you've like burnt it. Like, if you cook a potato correctly, it's always gonna taste good. It doesn't matter. Like, you bake that shit, delicious. You boil that shit, delicious. You fry that shit, delicious. It doesn't matter. Potatoes are always tasty.
Yeah. That sounds amazing though. What you ordered that like sounds amazing. Like you had really good reviews about it. Like what was the so like overall like you're really happy with kind of everything that you ended up having there.
Yeah, I was really happy with all of it. I thought it was really good. Jason got the fish and chips. He didn't even get barbecue. How were they, Jason?
They were really amazing. I had to drive and eat at the same time. Do not recommend it. Very dangerous. Don't do it. But it was very good. I think the prices were reasonable. I will say though, so that place had really long wait, but I think that's because it's made to order.
Oh, it's definitely made to order.
So in a way, it's a good thing.
I think it's
There's
fair.
long
It's a
wait.
fair trade. I think I would have liked to actually have been able to have the time to sit and eat there. It's just a really like peaceful spot, you know. Just there's a lot of weird cars that drove by in Santa Cruz when we were like sitting there. Like a lot of strange camper vans and stuff that were like uniquely modified. I thought that was kind of cool. So I would have liked to have sat there and just watched all the weird cars go by.
There was like a place that I had out there. There was like a burger place that I don't think that no one else had. I ordered it separately. Like I ordered it at DoorDash one of the nights, cause I was just like needing some food like at the end of the night. Just like everyone was just kind of I think everyone like had already eaten, and I was just kind of like the one person left that hadn't really ate that much. So I ordered some food, got like some like Beyond Burger type thing, and didn't end up even getting it because I literally crashed so hard like on a sleeping bag like on there was like barely any space like over there for people to sleep, so I ended up sleeping on a sleeping bag on the ground. But like yeah, I just fell asleep very hard. All of us had a long day, like just like hanging out with each other, like and I mean, yeah, it ended up being pretty good. I'd say like they made a pretty good burger. I was able to kind of like reheat a lot of it that following morning for like a lunch before we ended up leaving. The High Street was like probably the best of all of them.
Oh, High Street definitely was the best food place that we went to. I kind of regret exclusively only trying sandwiches that had turkey in them. I wish I would have tried some other meat, like a roast beef or something. But everything that I got, I loved because they were all really unique. But like, I want to know like the meat range. Like, are they all good, or is like the turkey the best? Like, I fully want to know because they had one that was really weird. It had like guava jam or something like that, like something really strange, you know. And oh my god, that was amazing. It was the daily special for Saturday.
Guava jam.
Something like that. I don't know, maybe it wasn't guavas, but something weird like that.
Overall, it was a pretty successful trip. Like we ended up like going home soon after that. Had like a couple of coffees that morning. All of us booked it back. I think me and Jason forgot something at like their place.
Oh yeah, you guys did. It got shipped back to the house.
Oh, how nice of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
They shipped our stuff back to the fraternity house, and you can go and pick it up from the guy whose house we went to.
Nice.
I won't name drop on the podcast.
I think he'll be on though soon, maybe. Like I think he said he wanted to.
I mean, if he wants to come on, then sure, why not?
Yeah. But that was a good time. I'm glad that we got to go, and I mean now, it's like now we get to at least enjoy the rest of our break a little bit longer, just a couple more days.
Yeah, I am really enjoying having having time to spend with you guys. I'm disappointed that like I'm injured during this time, but
Yeah,
but in general, it's pretty good.
A few moments later.
And we are back. So I kind of wanted to shift our conversation topic and talk a little bit about something that I think is pretty weird, which is the idea of California food, right? So like when you go to a restaurant and you go to it's a burger restaurant and they have on their menu, it says California burger, right? And it's always the same thing, right? It's always just a regular cheeseburger, but with avocado and bacon on it. And I want to know why that combination of like avocado and bacon is so tightly paired with California.
That is so true. Wow. Have yeah, they do have a like everything California that I've ever tried has like avocado and like some form of potato.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you get like a California burrito, they put fries and avocado in it, and maybe sour cream if they're extra fancy. And I feel like that again, weird. Like, what makes California the place that is so associated with avocados? Like, does nobody else like avocados? Are we the only people who eat them?
I think it's because California does get imported a lot of avocados. But I don't know how it's like in other. I've never went to another state specifically to look for California items.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily something that I haven't like really like looked into.
Yeah, I think so. I just think that's kind of strange. But you know what? I really like California burritos. I think they're really good. So to kind of like move us a little bit forward, what do you think are some like really fantastic burrito restaurants? Like what's the best burrito you've ever had?
Best burrito I've ever had. Dang. Yeah, I'd have to say the DC. No, I'm just kidding. The DC is the dining commons here, and yeah, that shit's. I mean, it's all right, but if we're talking like definitely like a favorite breakfast burrito that comes to mind immediately is this place called Greenlee's. It's this place in like near San Jose, near like a old, like downtown area near Keys. So bomb. That place has it all. That like. They put like some. You ask them for some chorizo. Maravillosa. The Spanish saying. The magnificent.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And then like for as far as like regular burrito, I've had they have good burritos at obviously like at like the nearby vendors. But they also have if we're talking about like chains, like Rubio's has a good burrito. Wish they made it a little bit bigger, but like it packs a punch. But yeah, that's good. What about you? Like, do you have any like personal favorites? Like, what's your favorite one if you can think of all time?
I think so. I grew up in LA, so I wouldn't say that I'm like familiar enough with Bay Area restaurants to recommend like a good burrito restaurant here. But like in the San Gabriel Valley, I would recommend like Alfredo's is pretty good. They're like a small
Nice.
chain. They have a few locations throughout the San Gabriel Valley. It's really good.
So for any listeners listening from like Los Angeles, like they should go there.
Oh yeah, they definitely should. I really highly recommend the carne asada burrito. That's personally one of my favorite kinds of burrito that you can get at all. But I'm also a big slut for chimichangas because it's just a burrito but fried and
Chimichangas are good.
like anything that's fried is always better.
Have you had the chimichanga at the place nearby?
Yeah, I definitely have at the local taco truck that everybody goes to.
Yeah.
I have had the chimichanga. Hot damn, that thing is good. Like, I fully don't know if Jason's gonna let me say this or if he's gonna cut it out, but like,
Antijitos?
no, I wasn't gonna just name drop them. I was gonna say there's nothing that fucking slaps harder when you're high than a fucking chimichanga.
Oh yeah.
Like, you take two of the best things that you can do to a food, right? Burrito it and fry it. Like,
Oh.
good God. That shit is amazing. I don't know why, but for some reason, like, turning something into a burrito makes it taste better to me. Like, those sushi burritos that are, like, giant rice and fish, and they wrap it in nori.
Yeah. I know what you're talking
Like, that, for some reason, that's better than eating sushi the way that it normally is.
about. They are really good. They are super good. Those are amazing. What else can you tell me about that? Like,
There was this food truck that I went to when I was young in LA that made lobster burritos.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
lobster burritos.
yeah.
Sound fire.
Oh,
What?
it was really good. And I don't know, maybe it wasn't actually that large, but because I was a kid at the time that I went, the burrito seemed fucking enormous. It was absolutely insane how much.
like your jaw couldn't even fit in a single
No,
bite.
no, I definitely couldn't at the time. Now I probably could. Like, I bet you anything, it probably wasn't that big of a burrito. But as a child, everything seems bigger, and that burrito just seemed enormous. And it was so good.
Lobster seems amazing. Honestly, I would love to try lobster burrito sometime. I hope they still have some around. I'm sure, like, if I look some up, then maybe someone will have it out there. If not, I'm for sure gonna try making my own lobster burrito sometime.
You know what I think would be really cool to do is to go to like Maine, to visit Maine.
Do they have lobster over there?
Yeah, that's what they're known for.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like it would be really cool to go to Maine and like visit just for the lobster.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, I'd love to check out Maine then.
Like, and I don't know. It's also just a really pretty place. Like, it's beautiful. It's peaceful. Like, they've got some old lighthouses on the coast and like waves crashing along the rugged seashore. Like, it truly is just a special place. It's like America's little Canada.
It is close to Canada. It's not too far. It's like maybe you. I think you if they would have to go like from boat. I think, but they're not that far from that far east side. That's so funny that you say that. Like it is like the closest to the top there, besides like New York or whatever. Like, over there, like in Maine, have you heard anything like so they're known for the lobsters? Do they have like lobster festivals or anything like that?
Oh yeah, they absolutely do. They also do like crab stuff. They have like crab bakes is a big thing out
Crab
there.
bakes.
Yeah.
That's not. Is that crab cakes but baked?
I don't think so. Like a crab bake is like an event, and they
Oh, like where they bake like a bake off, but like crab.
no, it's not like a competition. It's like like a whole group of people gets together and they have this gigantic pot that they make
Ooh.
crab in, and it's like a whole thing. I don't know. You'd have to ask somebody from Maine. I don't know enough about it, but I know it's like a big thing there, and it sounds super fucking cool to go to.
I hope if someone knows more, maybe they could like send us an email or something. Like,
Yeah, comment on the post, the announcement post, to tell us what a crab bake really is, because apparently we don't know, and invite us to one.
Jason, do the research.
I will try my best.
There's actually they have like there's all sorts of things that they have like festivals for. Like there's like if you go upwards in California and NorCal, they have there's this place called Eureka. And over there is a lot of actually near Eureka there's Arcata. In Arcata there's like this oyster festival. There's like a crap load of oysters and like all different booths, different like companies, people like different fisheries or whatever. Different people having oysters in different ways to like eat them or like cook them or whatever, or just raw, whatever they had all there. And it was at the time I was able to indulge in that, and that was pretty eventful. A lot of people loved the oysters out there.
Yeah, that sounds like one I would want to go to. A lot more enticing than the garlic festival that they have in Gilroy. Not to say that you shouldn't go to that, but just that I'm not as big of a fan of garlic as I would be of oysters. I feel like oysters are a lot more interesting of a thing to see. But admittedly, who am I to talk smack about Gilroy and their garlic festival? Because they have some really strange and interesting foods available there. They have like a garlic ice cream even.
Does it taste like garlic? Wow.
It does. It does taste like garlic. It's exactly what you think it is, a garlic ice cream. It's very bizarre.
I feel like I'd have like one bite and like just experience it, and then like I would never have it again.
Yeah, me too. I feel like, yeah, you can smash some garlic in my ice cream, and then like I'll take one bite, and then I'll be like, that's great. Yep. Here you go. And hand it off to somebody else.
That's really interesting. I actually didn't know. Like I knew about the ice cream, but I didn't know about the whole like festival that they had. That's super interesting. I hadn't even heard about that.
Yeah, no, it's like a whole thing. They do it every year. It got canceled in 2020 because of COVID. I don't know if it's come back yet. Like I don't know if they've done it since. But for years they've done a garlic festival in Gilroy, which I just think is so fascinating.
What was like a personal favorite like of yours out of everything there?
Oh, you know what? I never even got to go. I just know because I have a friend who went, and she was telling me stories about like the garlic festival, and I just thought that was so strange.
There's like I said, there's a bunch of different festivals they have like even places that have like seasonal stuff going on. Like there's up in Auburn and like near Sacramento area, north of that. Like there's like this huge set of farms that that's called it's called Apple Hill. It's like on this giant hill, and they just have like apple stuff. Have you ever heard of it?
I have not, but that sounds like a really cool place to go. I know you can get to Auburn on the Capitol Corridor train, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes,
that could be like a cool day trip to go to like Auburn and go to this apple place and try all these apple flavored stuff. Like, I think that would be kind of cool.
You have to try the apple. There's the apple donuts, apple turnover like pie or whatever.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
And what else to go to? The apple stars. It's like these apple little like crusted covered apple things that are in the shape of stars. It's really nice and crisp. It tastes very nice.
That sounds really cool. I think, you know what I would love to go to a festival /convention for?
Well, which one?
Weed.
Oh.
Do you think that that's a thing? Is that like a big thing? Do they have like outdoor markets and like festivals for weed? I'm sure they have to.
They do. I think a lot of them that they at least like in the beginnings of like the boom of the weed industry, like it was only for investors. But I think now there's a few here and there, but it's not as common. I mean, it's not as common. I think in like the San Jose, like the San Jose area specifically. But there's some more going deeper into like the Bay Area, like SF, like specific, or LA, kind of the more city places like Las Vegas or something like that. Like,
Yeah. Speaking of Vegas, we need to go to fucking Las Vegas. Like,
dude, they have Planet 13 out there, man.
yeah, the world's largest marijuana dispensary. Good God. And it's open 24 hours.
It's open 24 hours.
We need to go to Las Vegas. I want to visit this gigantic marijuana dispensary.
The biggest one in the world.
The world.
It's the biggest, like the biggest dispensary in the world out there. Imagine being out there and we are like I guess it's the closest. I guess from what I've read, it's like the closest they can legally be to the Strip.
That's amazing. Yeah, we definitely need to go there too. They have a lot of super cool things to do in Vegas. I would love to go see like a lot of shows on like the theaters on the Strip and stuff. I'm not really like a gambling sort of person myself, but they have. You know what they do have? They have really great cheap hotel rooms. That's what Vegas has a lot of. I could get pampered luxury for a lot less than I can here in
Caesar's
San
Palace.
Jose. Yeah, Caesar's Palace. We got to rent out the penthouse at Caesar's Palace.
Dude, that like pull up with some like Hangover type shit happening. Hangover movie type.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're
Have a tiger like just like pop up.
Oh man, if I swear to God, if you guys end up with a tiger in the fucking penthouse, I am running. I'm leaving your asses. You're all gonna die. Like I'm not gonna stick around and be like I'm not gonna be the guy who is like, there's a tiger in there. I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm getting out and I'm texting you all that there's a tiger in there, and you could do with what that information what you
You're
will.
leaving us to die.
Yeah, like, you think I'm gonna die to a tiger? Like, nope, not today.
Like waking up just losing a tooth because you're trying to win a bet that you can pull out your own tooth.
Ooh, yeah, that's a hard no for me.
That was what
I would,
guy did.
You know, if they would be like, I bet you $1 million you can't pull out your tooth, and I'll be like, you're damn right I can't. And I wouldn't fucking like fight them on it. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, yes I can absolutely pull out my tooth. Like, nope. Like, no, I'll let them make that claim. It's fine. It's true.
They have a lot of cool places out there that I definitely want to visit. Like Caesar's Palace being one of them. You know, they got like the really cool views. Definitely good venues for like concerts, for artists, comedy shows, like crazy acrobatic shows. I think even Circus Delay has performed there a couple times. High-end performers, and also like just the casinos are rampant out there. Just huge, humongous casinos. And wow, I would love to check out Planet 13. There's a lot to find out about Las Vegas.
Britney Spears used to have a residency in Las Vegas, and I would have loved to see it.
Oh, really?
But obviously, as we all know, she was like working under conditions that she didn't want to be working in. So the fact that she doesn't have it now, I fully respect her decision to not continue.
I'm glad that she's at where she's at currently, like with everything, with the whole like with just finally being like finally free of like the chains that kind of held her down for so many years.
I think it's crazy the way that conservatorship was used in this instance, because I don't think that that's how it's supposed to, the intention of how California state law intends it to be used. because it's supposed to be used for like when an old person has dementia and they can't make decisions for themselves anymore at all. Like then that's when a conservatorship is supposed to happen. Whereas like her dad was just like, yeah, I want your money, so
It was super controlling for her case. There was like a case recently about conservatorship that used this past precedent. I believe. Well, this past precedent kind of like showed everyone, just like with Brittany, like now being free of that like you know it gives everyone a chance to like get out of that if they truly see that they are fit to be without a conservatorship needed. And
yeah.
like for example, with Amanda Bynes recently, like she recently got her conservatorship taken out. Like her like family agreed, her parents like signed everything. Like they finally agreed. Well, like they finally like they tested, like they went through a process of just seeing if it's the right fit for her, and like talking to her specifically, letting her speak on that. And they ended up she's ended up without a conservatorship right now. Like she just recently went out with one. It was an easy process, no like hardships in any ways. They even the parents were like, yeah, this is like necessary. Like she can be on her own now. Like it's fine.
I'm really glad to see all of these women getting their freedom back, right? Being able to choose what they want to do with their lives, because so many people have it taken away from them. And oddly enough, in the terms of like famous people, it seems to be women more often than men. So I think it's good to see them getting their independence back and being able to do what they want.
Dang, it's crazy to like see that it's been like a long time coming. Like I think the beginnings of YouTube is when we had that first video show up. One of the first like videos that was like first famous all around was like that guy like that made the guy or girl, I can't remember, but like they made like a video saying leave Britney alone. You know what I'm talking about,
I
like
remember that. That was like in the late 2000s.
yeah, I know.
The 2000s.
Really alone.
Yeah, that's it. He was like, leave Britney alone, and that was just.
But he's right. I mean, like I can't believe that as a society in 2007 we were really all like, no, like she's a problem, and like only now do we realize that like people had put her under immense amounts of stress that she didn't want to be under, and she broke like any
Facts.
normal human would.
Facts.
Like, how can you expect her to be better just because she's a celebrity? Like, she's a normal person. She grew up as a normal person, too. Like, she didn't start being... Like, she wasn't born famous, you know?
Yeah.
So, how can you expect her to be more than what she is in terms of just being a human and feeling what humans feel and what we go through?
The family didn't help.
Oh, hell no. Her sister, full on a snake. Her dad, full on an evil bastard who I hope rots in hell.
And certainly like the mom didn't help either.
She wasn't as supportive. Like I saw like I was watching documentaries about this, and like she seemed like her heart was in the right place, but she just wouldn't do anything.
So she was like complacent.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She knew what was happening and she knew it was bad, but she didn't do anything.
I mean, I guess that's like not necessarily making it worse, but that's not necessarily like that's like it's really hard in being in that position, and like she had a choice with that, and like kind of those choices that lasted years had like is gonna have these like life altering effects for her that she's gonna have to have like therapy for the rest of her life.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm just happy for her. She gets to make her own decisions now. First thing she went and did was got married. Like, I hope that works out for you, girl. I don't know about that, but like, if that's what you want and you know it's gonna work out for you, then I hope all the best to her. Like, I no ill wishes towards her. Obviously, she is an icon, and I would want her to be happy in her life. She's been through enough.
You think Brittany will listen to this?
Hell no.
Was she ever?
If she ever does listen to this, I love you, Britney Spears. Like,
just put the Spotify shuffle and just all of a sudden find like a random satellite podcast.
yeah, like if she's ever just, I don't know, maybe one day she'll have like some assistant or like staff member who will be like, hey, these guys talked about you on their podcast, and she'll be like, that's cool.
Good,
People, like tens of thousands of people tweet about me every day. Like,
yeah, it's like crazy kind of seeing that progress, since it's been so long. Like every time I think about like the timing ever since like the media having her be the center of attention, like it's been several, like every time I think about that, it kind of makes me feel a little bit old, you know, like you feel like that?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
There's like a couple other things that make you feel like that too, like is it like the other day, like I was like I was like there was like this thing that came up. Oh yeah, when did like recently Netflix put on Shrek? Like, oh, when did Shrek come out? I remember like
Oh yeah.
And it was like 2000 and like early 2000s.
Yep.
Like, and I was just like, well, oh, that's like it's like 15 years. That's like more than 15.
It has been a long time since Shrek has been out. But you know what? Like the Shrek movies, they hold up. They're still pretty good. I think the only Shrek movie that has ever been and will always be unwatchable is the third one.
Oh, is that the one with the Piper guy, like the Never After? He like
No, that's the fourth one. The one, it's the one where fucking he has that stupid boy with him who's gonna be king because he doesn't want to be king or whatever, and like.
Oh, are you talking about Arthur?
Yeah,
King Arthur.
Yeah, he was such a little. Honestly, I did not like that guy. It's just such a terrible plot line compared to the first two. It was so bad.
Yeah, they definitely like kind of had like they had that huge ending with like the Frog King. You know, like what were we gonna do? Like that was like the biggest thing of like the like leading up to that. Like everything was pretty big, so it's kind of hard to kind of go from that.
Yeah.
There's a lot that like that's like that like still like has makes me have those moments sometimes, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, things where you're just like, oh man, I am so old. Like when you rewatch, this is such a young person, or yeah, such people our age totally do this. Rewatching SpongeBob from like the original series of SpongeBob, like the 1999 episodes.
Gosh,
you know,
those
like,
are the first ones.
Those were so good. That was when SpongeBob was at its peak. Like, it's been all vaguely downhill from there.
like obviously I haven't checked it out since like elementary school, but like it's definitely. my cousins were actually my cousins' parents didn't allow them, like when we were younger and stuff, like they're like the parents were like, oh, you're not watching SpongeBob, and like that makes you dumb.
Oh damn.
Yeah, they're like that makes you dumb, and I was just like, I'm watching it. I feel like I'm learning a lot of things. I'm learning how to make a Krabby Patty, and how to make like sly jokes, because like, this is all where my humor is coming from, just kind of like random outbursts as a kid. And you know, everyone knew that show. Like it was like a kind of a cultural norm to know about that show at that age. Like all of us, I went to the theater.
If you didn't watch SpongeBob as a kid, like what did you even do?
Yeah, I went to the IMAX, like the biggest theater in my hometown, to watch the movie when it came out. The movie, like the original movie.
Yeah, the one with David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, the one with David Hasselhoff. We all went out there. That was the best time. Like I remember, like we were all excited. We all had like it was as as the Spider-Man movie did for me, like recently, that's how I felt, like how I felt then in the recent Spider movie. I felt then in the SpongeBob. It's like that was like the thing. That was a cultural norm that everyone knew. So obviously, like if you didn't know SpongeBob, like that was just like, oh whoa, like are you even like are you even in our grade, like in the third grade or what?
Yeah, like you were fully a not a typical child if you didn't watch SpongeBob. Like there was something different. Maybe your parents were really strict or something.
Yeah.
Like it. I also I don't know. Like I really enjoyed all those like I say now that they're old cartoons. I think are just in general pretty fun to watch. I went back recently and was watching like cartoons from my childhood to kind of like remember and relive some of those things that made me love them in the first place. And some of them hold up. Some of them are better than they were when I was a kid. Some of them are worse than they were when I was a kid. But I think overall, you know, some things we do look on too fondly with nostalgia. Like some things are not as good as we remember them.
Fair enough. Yeah. So same with like some like cereals too. Like some foods like you had as a kid. Like when I had the cookie crisps as a kid. I didn't really, I stopped having cereal like after a certain age, but like the cookies crisp like with the wolf mascot.
Yeah.
Like they had these like chocolate chip cookies, and I remember having them as a kid, and I had them I had them recently as an adult now, like in so long. They taste so different now. Like things are just incredibly different sometimes, like in different aspects.
See, for me, that was always a cereal that was out of my reach because my mom, that was like the one that she drew the line of like sugary cereals. You know, like could we fully have like Cocoa Puffs and Lucky Charms? Like, yeah, but she was like, it's legit just cookies in a bowl. No.
You're
Like,
literally getting marshmallows and Lucky Charms.
I know, but for some reason, when I was a kid, that was the one that my mom drew the line on.
That's so funny.
So I don't know. That was one that was always out of my grasp. So that's not like something I remember as a child. Or like we didn't in my house was not a Captain Crunch household. Right? Like some people like religiously ate Captain Crunch growing up, you know. I was never one of those people. Like Captain Crunch, to me, I don't even think it's that good of a cereal. Like, maybe that's a hot take. I probably just like...
Is that hot take?
I probably just like threw the entire audience under the bus for saying that Captain Crunch is not that good, but...
I tried a bunch of cereals as a kid. I was like I was like all about Life at some points. That Life cereal, it was all about like some Trix, some Cheerios. I had a huge Honey Nut Cheerios phase and Frosted Flakes.
Oh, I definitely had like a whole ass Honey Nut Cheerios phase. I feel like it's one of those cereals that you really can't go wrong with. Like, it's perfectly inoffensive to everyone. Nobody has ever probably eaten Honey Nut Cheerios and gone, God, that's disgusting. Like
it stays in its own lane, you know?
Yeah, no, it's exactly that, right? It's totally unassuming but perfectly acceptable. It's like the Honda Accord of cereals, right? It's not going to offend anyone. Like nobody's going to go, "Ew, that's disgusting." Right?
Yeah. No, I hear you. Jason, what's your what's your like cereal? What's your throwback cereal?
Dude, for me, it's always been Reese's Puffs.
Oh, Reese's Puffs are something else, man. Like,
Reese's Puffs.
Dude, that stuff is like crack.
it really is, though. You know, I don't even like peanut butter that much, but it is so good. Like, I'm not like, you know, there's a lot of people who are like big sluts for peanut butter, and they're like, you could put peanut butter on anything and it'll taste better. And I'm like, I doubt that. But like Reese's Puffs, oh, that's a good cereal.
Did you ever have the Reese's Puff? They have those like M&M ones, like those little boxes of like Reese's Puff M&Ms.
No, I
No.
haven't.
You mean like Reese's Pieces? Is that
Yeah. Like they have Reese's Pieces like M&Ms that are like the flavors of Reese's Pieces.
inside M&M's?
Yeah, like as the
Oh,
M&Ms.
that sounds pretty good.
And they have them at set at a lot of movie theaters.
Mm.
And if Jason's into the whole like idea of that, then maybe that would be his like favorite thing. Jason, you said that that you've seen them before, or you haven't tried them?
All I know is Reese's Puffs is never on sale. It's always expensive.
That's correct. I don't think I've ever once in my life seen Reese's Puffs on sale. Because you know why? Kids love it, right? Things that adults like go on sale, right? Special K, that goes on sale, right? Like
Raisin Bran.
checks, like shit like that. That goes on sale. What kids
Kicks.
Yeah, Kicks. Yep, that'll go on sale. But like, if you think that for 1 second that like those sugary cereals are gonna go on sale, you're wrong. Like, dead wrong. I have never ever in my life seen a box of Lucky Charms on sale because they know that they can get away with the pricing strategy. Like, they don't have to put that shit on sale. They do not.
Well, or they just like lessen the quantity in it and they keep it the same price.
Oh yeah, you're right. They do that all the time.
Shrinkflation. Let's go.
See, I don't know. To me, shrinkflation, like, I get, you either, like, to me, it's got to be one or the other. You either increase the price or you decrease the portion, right? If you're doing both, you're just the devil. Like, I can tolerate one or the other. That's fair enough. Okay, inflation in the world is going up, so they have to raise prices. Okay, whatever. But, like, really? You're going to increase prices and give me less food? What is that? What is that nonsense? That is wild. Like, go to hell. Go straight to hell.
Gotta reach those quotas, dude. Gotta get those profits. In America here, we get those quotas.
Those record profits.
Hit them high.
Record profits, but also, like, record customer dissatisfaction, however they can do that, it's like, oh well.
I mean, with the bots that they have online, like, I mean, they have a lot of good reviews now.
Do actually, one of the things that I think you might remember, because we took that business ethics course together.
Yeah, I do remember.
Was like one of our things that we had to discuss was like, is it ethical to leave a fake Amazon review if your company asks you to? Like, what should you do? And, like, we had to talk about it from, like, different perspectives of, like, well, what if you lose your job because you don't do what they told you? Or, like, I think that's a sort of interesting question. Like, to put yourself in moral conundrums is fascinating to me. I like the thought experiments of it all.
Did you just hear that a second ago?
Yeah, I did. I absolutely did.
Was there just like
There was somebody shouting, clearly a fan shouting about how much they love our podcast from the ground floor of the Satellite House 51-story tall building, our giant
here in the Bay
mega HQ. You can see it from all over San Jose. You can see the Satellite House building. Totally not a lie. Definitely not lying about that.
Yeah, and those people, I think I heard them all say to rate it 5 stars if it happens to be on if it happens to have a rating system.
Yeah,
or like system.
I heard this fan say that they want all of our listeners to share our podcast, share the link,
share the podcast. Do it all. Like, honestly, like, put it in a new playlist. Put in your friend's playlist.
Yeah, hack your friends' phones and put it in their playlist. Don't actually do that, but
just tell friends and family. I mean, you never know who may be one of those people that might end up enjoying it.
Yes, because Satellite House is for everyone you know. Tell them to listen, and if they don't listen, I don't know. Then that's time that they're wasting by not listening to Satellite House.
A few moments later.
So, thanks for listening, everyone. Like and comment on our Instagram and share on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
And thanks again for having me. Hope to be back soon. And yeah.
Yeah, and episode 3, we're gonna have a very cool guest. Her name is Angela.
And she's going to be talking to us about some pretty cool stuff. We're going to talk about her background and what she's been through and some of the things that she finds interesting. And, you know, some of our shared experiences and what it was like. And it'll be really cool. So definitely look forward to that new episode.
All right, thanks guys for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.